Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you guys doing? Yep, it's 8 o'clock. Happy Sunday to everyone that is joining me live and that will join me and watch the replay as well. So good evening. Happy Sunday to all of you. Happy Sunday to all of you. I'm excited today as always. It's Sunday. It's a new week. It's a fresh start. What else is it? It's time to press that reset button. Time to make corrections. Time to take actions. Time to step it up. Time to grow. And time to just have the opportunity to be who you want to be. I think that's the beautiful thing I love about the start of a new week. It's a time that we get to start over and give ourselves that opportunity to start over. It's not about blaming ourselves for things in the past and stuff. It's about moving on. Thank you so much, Coach Kemi. I can see you. Akunsumi, thank you so much. I can see you as well. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined me so far and for everyone that would join as we go along. It's the 28th episode of the Chatting with Chichi show, and I'm excited as always. Today, we're going to be talking about the blame game. I think a lot of times we're very quick to blame other people for our situations or the choices that we make. And I think today, I want us to kind of have a chat about it and nip it in the bud, actually. Talk about the consequences, the consequences to do with blaming other people, and also what we can do, the solutions that we can do. And then I'm going to give us a challenge as we end the show. Thank you so much, Irene. How are you doing? Thank you so much. Good. How's your Sunday been? How's your week last week? How was your last week? And how's your Sunday been so far? I hope you're being intentional about what you're going to do this week. I hope you're being intentional about showing up. I hope you're being intentional about making the right decisions that you want to make for yourself, for your family, and for in your workplace. I hope you're being intentional, because the key is actually to be intentional in everything that we do. If not, we're kind of wasting our times. We got to be intentional and do what we got to do. So let's go to the blame game. Yes. Oh dear. What a nasty game. Very, very nasty game. But it's so easy for people to do that without even knowing. And I think that's the reason why I love topics that we share here, because when you talk about these things, it makes you conscious of them. It makes you conscious about them. And that's why we're talking about them. We're not talking about them because we don't know about it. Hi, Ngozi. How you doing? Good. How are you? Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. Good. Okay, today we are talking about the blame game. And what is the blame game? What is your definition of the blame game? What is your definition of the blame game? When we blame other people for where we are. We blame other people for situations that happen. We blame other people for conditions that we find ourselves in. We just put the blame on other people. That's what the blame game is. But you see something about the blame game. Sometimes with the blame game, you think that you have shifted the problem away. You think you have moved the problem away, creating my difference. Yes, I'm showing up big time. Good. Akunsumi, thank you so much. Good. So you think that you have shifted the problem by blaming other people. But that's not really the case. There are lots of consequences about blaming, and I think it's important that we nip it in the bud. We nip it there where it belongs so that we move on in life. There's something I've also found out about very, very successful people. They don't play the blame game. Did you catch that? Successful people. Hi, Sophia. How you doing? Good. Nice to have you on board. And Amaka, thank you. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Good. Successful people do not play the blame game, because they don't see the relevance of playing the blame game. Because with successful people, your focus, Zena says hello. Thank you so much. Ngozi, thank you. Your focus is on the future. Your focus is on the goals, those goals that you're aiming to achieve. So therefore, when you're blaming people, it's a waste of your time. And that's the mindset of a successful person. They do not play the blame game, because it's not worth the hassle. It's not it doesn't bring them closer to their dreams. Now, if you're blaming somebody and that blaming situation is going to move you closer, then I can see why you want to blame. But there's no result of blaming never brings you a step closer to where you want to go. So what's the point? And I think that's why we need to kind of look at it in that way. What is the blame game to you? What do you describe as a blame game. Remember, this is a interactive show. It's not just me talking. So bring on your comments. I really always do appreciate them. Always appreciate them. You know, playing the blame game has its consequences, and I'm going to give us about 5 or 4. No, I think I've got more than 5, but maybe we'll stick to 5 consequences of playing the blame game, and then we will look at solutions, because I don't want you to leave this show not having solutions about playing the blame game. Playing the blame game doesn't pay off to any of us. And so it's time that we stop doing it and be more conscious about when we do it. Okay? So good. So when we're going, let's talk about blaming. Let's see let's actually talk about what it does. And I had to write just a few things down. But then there's a quote I shared up there. Let me read that quote again to you, because that was the quote I found. And I thought, oh, this is a good topic to talk about. The only person who cannot be helped is that person who blames others. And that's Carl Rogers that said that. The only person who cannot be helped is that person who blames others. I want us to just let this sink a little bit in your mind. Let this sink a little bit in your mind, because each and every one of us needs help in one area or the other. No one has gotten to that level where they say, no more, I don't need any help from anybody. I've got this all sorted. No one's got that. No one's gotten there. No one has gotten there. So for this quote, it really plays an important part. It says, the only person who cannot be helped, and we all need help in one area or the other, but the only person who cannot be helped is the person who blames others. And that is powerful. That is powerful to know that if you want to open yourself to being helped, you cannot be blaming people. When you blame people, you're actually closing the door. When you blame people, you are closing the door. There's another quote that says, curiosity opens the door, but blaming closes it. It closes it right back. You close up yourself to opportunities. You close up yourself to learning new things when you blame others. So that's really key and really essential. Hi Kamel and hi Kemi, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. So when you blame other people, you're closing the door to yourself. You're closing the door to your growth. These are the consequences. We're just going about some consequences now. When you blame other people, you are actually, another thing that happens when you blame other people, you're tying yourself to that situation. You think you're releasing yourself from that situation, but you're actually tying yourself to it. You're tying yourself to the memories. You're tying yourself to the hurts that were involved in that situation. So it doesn't pay off at all. We need to get rid of blaming people, okay? Let's kind of put them all in numbers, the way I've just kind of spoken about them. So it closes the door, blaming. If you blame other people, hi Kamel, thank you. When you blame other people, it closes your door of opportunities to change. That's one of the things. It closes your door of opportunity to change. The second one is that it ties you to that past. I think I just mentioned that. It ties you to that past. It ties you to the hurt. It ties you to the problem. It doesn't free you from the problem. It literally ties you to the problem. Can you imagine yourself getting some handcuffs and on somebody, you're just holding, yes, a prisoner to yourself. Exactly, Julian says, how are you? Exactly. You're literally handcuffing yourself to someone. And can you imagine your life? Instead of you moving forward, you're putting chains. You're tying chains, wrapping your hands in chains to someone. That's what you're doing when you blame people. How can you move from here? If you're tying yourself to someone who is over here, tying yourself to them, blaming them for your situation, blaming them for your problems, you tie yourself. Guess what? It stops you from moving forward. Hi, Visi, how you doing? We're talking about the blame game and the consequences about the blame game, the consequences that comes from blaming other people. So yes, you tie yourself to people, and guess what? You cannot move forward. And if you cannot move forward in life, what is the point of life? If you can't move forward in life, what is the point of life? And that's why it's key that we don't put the blame. Another point, I think that's my 4th point now. The 4th point is that when you blame others, guess what? You're actually giving them the power over changing your life. And can you imagine giving somebody else the power of the change that you desire in your life? Can you imagine that? That is exactly what blaming others does for you. Isn't it? Oh, Kevin says, great points. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, it ties you to the past. It chains you to the people, and you're not able to move forward. And in life, we've got to move forward. In life, it's about continuous growth, isn't it? I talk about growth a lot and communication. It's about that continuous growth. But if you keep blaming others, then you deprive yourself. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like that one. When you blame others, you deprive yourself from the growth that you deserve. Your success is not in what you achieve. Your success is in who you become as you go ahead and achieve those things. And as you're becoming, in that you're becoming, you cannot blame people. Blaming people stops you from becoming who you are meant to be. You deserve the very best. You deserve the ultimate best. But when you blame people, you deprive yourself of that ultimate best. I've got to clap on this one because this just came out of my head. And I'm like, what? When you blame other people, you deprive yourself of the best that you deserve. Woo! Bissy says very true. I thank you, Bissy. Olamide, thank you so much for joining. Whoo! I just caught this one now. This one, I just caught it. I just caught it. And to be honest, this is true for every relationship you're in. Both at work, your relationship with your colleagues at work, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your family, your children, your hobby, or your wife, as the case may be. It is, wow. You deprive yourself of being your best. And if you cannot be your best, then what's the point? If you cannot be your best, then you're just living a mediocre life. If you cannot be your best, then you're shortchanging yourself. Whew. I'm catching some things here. I hope you can catch what I'm saying. Coach Kemi says, come on. Honestly, if you cannot be your best self, you are depriving yourself of so much. Your potential, the greatness that is on the inside of you. But when you blame others, you give them that power. You give them that power to hold onto your destiny. Oh, God. Because we are the holders of our destinies, Julian says. We are the holders, not others. So you cannot actually, we can make or break ourselves. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So we should really shift our mindset from blaming others. Shift the mindset from blaming others because it doesn't do us any good. It doesn't improve our results. It doesn't make us more successful when you blame others. All you just need to, and the thing about blaming others is that they get in your memory. They are actually the people. When you're blaming those people, guess what? Your thoughts, check your thoughts when you blame others. Just check your thoughts when you blame others. You would find out that most of your thoughts, 99.9% of your thoughts are on those people. And wow, what a power you've given them. What a power you have given them for them to be the dominant thought in your life. And if they tell us, if quotes tell us, even the Bible says it, that your life follows your thoughts. What you think about is who you become. If you're going to be thinking about all those people that you're blaming, then wow, how is your life going to change? How are you going to get to your goals? How are you going to get to your destiny? Yes, Coach Kemi, you're the thinking queen. Yes, exactly. It affects our thoughts because our thoughts, we're just thinking constantly. Oh, they did this. Oh, they said this. Oh, they didn't do it this way. Oh, she didn't say it that way. Oh, he should have done it this way. Oh, and it's like you keep blaming and blaming. And if that's your constant language, if that's your constant communication with yourself, then please tell me where your life is going to follow. Where is your life going to follow? Because apparently your life follows your thoughts. So do you want your life to just follow that blaming situation? Do you want your life to follow that situation that you're blaming or the person you're blaming? What do you want your life to do? Where do you want your life to follow? Where do you want to focus in life? Adjust your thoughts. And you can only adjust your thoughts when you stop the blame game. Because when you stop the blame game, guess what? You're no longer focusing on that person. You're no longer focusing on that situation. All you're doing is trying to get results, trying to step forward, trying to free yourself, trying to do what is best for you. And that is key. Wasted energy indeed. It's totally wasted. Totally wasted. So those are the consequences. So let's talk about some solutions, guys. Let's talk about some solutions, what we can do. Because if blame closes doors on us, if the blame deprives us of being our best, then what should we do about it? Isn't it time that we stop the blame? Sometimes, to be honest, because we're so used to blaming people, it's a habit. But guess what about habits? Habits can be broken. Habits can be unlearned and relearned. New habits can be adopted. But it's got to be you. You've got to be intentional about it. We have got to be intentional about it. We have got to be intentional about it and go for it. So rather than blame people, why don't we just let go? That's one solution. So we're talking about solutions now. Rather than blame people, why don't we just let go? Let go, take responsibility, because guess what? When you let go of that person, when you let go of that situation, when you stop the blame game, guys, guess what happens? It frees your mind. It frees your mind to focus on better thoughts. Better thoughts. It frees your mind to think, to create, to actually be more creative. Because you cannot be blaming people. You cannot stay in that blaming mode and be creative. You cannot be in that blaming mode and God will give you wisdom and ideas of what to do. It's not, you're blocking him from doing that. You're blocking him from doing that. Hi Ronke Posh, how you doing? Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. You're blaming people. It messes up with your mind. Free yourself and let go. So rather than blame, let go. Rather than blame, forgive. We talk about forgive all the time. We talk about forgive all the time because we know it's one of the keys for you to have your successful life. As I told you before, successful people do not have time to blame other people. They don't have the time. Actually, the word I read is that they refuse to blame other people. They refuse to blame others because they take responsibility and they move. Release. Sophia says powerful. Thank you so much. You've got to move on. So let go. It's the solution. Rather than blame, let go. Rather than blame, forgive and move on. What else have I said about thinking? Rather than blame, be the bigger person and accept responsibility. Rather than blame, be the bigger person and accept responsibility and move on. Because when you accept responsibility, guys, you are accepting your life. When you accept responsibility, how you doing? When you accept responsibilities, you are saying that nobody else is in charge of your life apart from God. And we're talking about human beings now. When you take responsibilities, you are owning up to you. And you've got to own up to you for you to be able to move on. You've got to own up to you for you to be able to tap into that greatness on the inside of you. If you don't own up, guys, you deprive yourself of the greatness. And we talked about that earlier. So rather than blame, take responsibility. Take responsibility. Rather than blame as well. Oh, I've talked about that. Take responsibility. Own your current reality. Because you know something about our current reality. Our current reality is based on a lot of choices that we've made. Who is responsible for where you are today? Who is responsible for where you are today? Who is responsible for the situations that you're in right now? Guess what, guys? Do you know that quote? There's not even a quote. Blaming is a comfort zone for so many and they remain there. We all have someone or something to blame. Yes, exactly. It's a comfort zone. And guess what? Success is not in the comfort zone. We've got to step out to be able to succeed. So yes, it's true. It keeps you comfortable. You think you've gotten away from the problem, but the problem is still there. So thank you so much, Ronke Posh. Do you know that? Have you heard of that saying? I'm sure you've heard of that saying that when you're pointing your fingers, just bear with me as I'm pointing my fingers. So as you're pointing your fingers, guess what's going on? 3 fingers are actually pointing back to you. So it's just try that. So you're pointing your fingers. Okay, I can point somewhere else instead of pointing straight at you. So you're pointing your fingers out there and 3 of your fingers are pointing back to you. Try it and see if that's going on with you. I'm sure if you're pointing your fingers, it's not going to go somewhere else. It's going to be your 3 fingers are pointing back to you. So blaming others, pointing to others for your problems, pointing to others for your situation is not, it doesn't even pay off at all. And Julian says self-evaluation is key. Exactly. That's owning the responsibility, owning yourself. That's what self-evaluation is about. And you've got to be truthful about it and authentic as well about it. My pronunciation. You've got to be real about it as well. And be conscious about it. Just think about it. Why are you blaming others? Okay, so rather than blame, just own the current responsibility. Take actions to make it better. Because you're blaming somebody else for a situation. How can you make it better? How can you play the part to make it better? And that's key. How can you play the part? Rather than blame, apologize. Sometimes people find it hard to apologize, but there's nothing wrong with apologizing to people. When you apologize to people, you're not putting yourself down. Honestly speaking, you're being the bigger person. You are being the bigger person. Hi, Rachel. Hi, grateful Rachel. How you doing? Good. Happy Sunday to you. When you blame others, what was I just saying now? Sorry. Yes, apologizing. There is nothing wrong with being the first to apologize. Don't wait for somebody else to apologize first. Whatever situation you want, you create the situation. You create the situation. I'm not saying, oh, they haven't apologized, so I'm not going to do this. They haven't apologized. Well, if you want a better situation, then go do what you need to do. Apologize for your own parts. I'm not telling you to take the blame for everything. A lot of times most of the time we're not to blame for everything, I hope. What am I saying now? No, let's put that back. Don't blame others. That's the key. Just take responsibility and do what you need to do to make the situation better. That's key. So rather than blame, don't be afraid to apologize. Rather than blame, admit your own part. Rather than blame, be open to ideas, because what happens is that when you blame others, you shut your mind down. We talked about mind. You shut yourself down to ideas and solutions that could even come your way. So rather than blame others, take responsibility and say, okay, what can I do better? How have I allowed this to happen? What has been my own part in this? Take responsibility for your own part and take actions. And that is key, honestly, guys. That is so key. Take responsibility for your actions. Yes, Rachel agrees as well. Take responsibility for your actions. There is no point, as we've said, in playing the blame game. It doesn't get us anywhere. And as we do that, let's teach our children as well not to play the blame game. Don't blame your teachers because of your teacher. You're blaming teachers because you've got a bad grade, or you're blaming at work they've not promoted you. Have you actually gone to ask for a promotion? Have you actually gone and said, you know what? I have played my part here. I've worked hard. I've provided this solution. I've done this. I think I deserve a pay rise. I think I deserve a promotion. Have you done that? Rather than just blaming the boss at work or blaming your work environment, what have you done to make it better? And I think it's important that we do that. We think about that. Princess says the blame game is a sign of cowardice. Exactly. It's true. Because rather than take actions, we're blaming others. So Princess, you're right. You're definitely right. Go out there and actually ask for what you want. Rather than blaming and saying, oh, they don't do this. But have you asked? If you have asked, if you've taken action, they may have done it. So rather than blame people, rather than tie yourself or your thoughts to the blaming others for where you are, it's important that you take actions. Because it's not just the talkers. It's not just about talking. It's about taking actions. Because as you take actions, you get closer to your goals. So anything that is going to stop you from going to your goals, like blaming other people, we've got to nip it in the bud. So that's what I'm hoping that we get out of this chatting with Chichi, this episode today, is stop playing the blame game. We all are guilty in playing the blame game in one way or the other. I'm not here talking to you guys about playing the blame game and being as if I'm excluded. No way. I am part of it. I know I play the blame game sometimes in some areas, and that's why it's important that we talk about this and nip it in the bud. Our challenge this week is that what I want us to do this week, guys, is I want us to be conscious. Just kind of take a note of the times that you're blaming others. Take a note of it. Just write it down. Oh, I've blamed others maybe 3-4 times today. And just because when you're self-aware of what you're doing, then you get to change it. So as soon as you see yourself, as soon as you catch yourself, I like to use the word catching yourself. As soon as you catch yourself playing the blame game, correct it immediately. Correct it there and then. Change your language. Change your thoughts. Because when you change your language, you change your thoughts, then you change your actions. And when you change your actions, that's when you get closer to what you want in life. We're the change we want. Be the change you want. Be the change you want. So whatever it is, there is no point to blame people anymore. And that's kind of what I have for us today on the Chatting with Chichi show. And I know a lot of you agree with me because you guys have put a lot of comments there about this and agree with a lot of things that I'm saying. If you have any more suggestions about shift, the consequences of the blame game, or solutions, really, what people can do. So how I kind of put, rather than blame, do this, rather than blame, do this. Then share with us. I appreciate all the comments that you have made so far. Thank you so much for joining. For me, thank you so much. We had a lovely time yesterday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ronke Poch, for the hearts as well. Thank you so much. So we just need to stop playing the blame game in every area of our life, honestly. When you blame people, you're actually tying yourself to the problem and not releasing yourself from the problem. So it's time that we step out of it. It's time that we allow ourselves to grow. It's time that we embrace the best in our lives. And the best in our lives does not include blaming others. I'm going to say that quote again that I repeated at the beginning. The only person who cannot be helped is that person who blames others. So we cannot blame others. I want to see if I've mentioned anything else here. Yeah, so just take actions. How are people choose to forgive. Exactly. You got to choose to forgive. I like that. Ronke Posh. Thank you so much. Choose to forgive. And because when you hold on to unforgiveness, it does feel, that's a whole topic on its own. I can even spend a week talking about forgiveness. Honestly, that is that. Face the demons. Yes, face the challenges. Face the challenges. Give yourself permission to forgive and move on. Exactly. I like how you've put it there. Give yourself permission, because a lot of times we don't set ourselves free. Give yourself permission to forgive and move on. Remember, you've forgiven people. It's nothing to do with the other person. It's nothing to do with the people. It's to do with you. It's to do with freeing yourself. It's to do with freeing yourself. So in kind of summary, we've talked about the blame game. Stop playing the blame game. It's got consequences. It ties you to the past. All the consequences that we've talked about. But the solutions are there. The solutions are there for you to tap into. Let go. Forgive. Move on. Take actions. Own your responsibility. Own yourself. And open up yourself to ideas to get solutions to where you need to go to. It's all about you. Because once you can sort yourself, you can sort others around you as well. You can sort others around you as well. Hi T, how you doing? Good evening and happy Sunday to you. We're almost shutting down already. Actually, we are shutting down already. But the great thing about Facebook Live is that you can always watch the replay. So I appreciate each and every one of you that has joined me today. Yes, don't take things too personal. Exactly. Don't take it too personal. Think about where you're heading to. Think about the bigger picture. Rachel, thank you so much for saying that, sharing that. Don't take things too personal. Honestly, you gotta move on. You do yourself that favor by moving on. You give yourself that permission to move on. Don't take it personal. It's not as bad as you think, honestly speaking, and you give yourself opportunities to grow, because it's all about growth. I told you, no one has gotten to a position where they no longer need help or growth. It's something that we all need. So keep going, guys. Keep doing what you've got to do, and have a fantastic week. As you go on this week, remember, just tap into your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Who are you blaming? Tap into those and correct them immediately. So that, because the more you do that, the more you form these good habits. If not, it stays as a habit and you just keep on blaming people. And then you're wondering, why is my life staying the same? Why am I not moving on? You're not moving on because you've got people that you're blaming. You've got situations you're blaming for yourself. Release yourself from those blames and move on. You've got the solution in you. You have got the solution in you. So keep moving, guys. Thank you so much. Again, I always appreciate each and every one of you that turns up to watch the Chatting with Chichi live, and also all of you that watch the replay as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. I don't take you for granted at all. Never. How dare I? I never ever take you for granted. I really appreciate you guys, and you make my Sunday evenings count a lot for me. I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ronkepo. She says keep smiling, so let's smile. Thank you so much, guys. Love you guys. I'm rooting for your rise all the way. As you step out in this week, you guys, be intentional. Be intentional. Do what you've got to do, and love, forgive. And be kind and smile, as Ronke Poch has advised me to. Smile, keep smiling, and your life will never be the same. As long as you give yourself permission to live that life that you feel on the inside of you. You deserve the best. nothing but the best. I love you guys with all my heart. Take care and have a fantastic, fantastic week. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. You're stronger and your life is more fulfilling. Thank you so much. Thank you, team. Mwah. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Have a fantastic, fantastic week. And remember, again, I am rooting for you all the way. And I'm not going to stop that either. Take care. Bye. See you later. Keep smiling.